being an inhospitable wasteland for the foreseeable future. And if that's the case, then how do we actually live there? Best anyone can tell, we either live in domes, in dirt eggs, or underground. So we could all live under a series of domes on Mars. Just like in that Stephen King book, we could create miniature atmospheres within each dome village that would allow us to just relax and walk around and do our thing without the need for spacesuits. Obviously, it wouldn't be one big seamless dome. There'd be no way to get that transported to Mars. It would have to be modular, like a honeycomb pattern. You could just stack round sections of dome up in a starship like a can of Pringles. When it gets to Mars, just pop the top and start building domes. Yo, Elon, get at me for more genius engineering ideas like that one. I've got tons. They'll work, I promise. Now here's a real-life genius idea. Martian buildings could be 3D printed eggs made from dirt. Seriously, this is a real thing. This company called AI Space Factory has come up with an automated process that would 3D print an egg-shaped building using materials harvested on Mars. The idea is to use basalt in combination with bioplastic to create a durable building material. The basalt fibers would be extracted from Martian rock, and the polylactic acid binding material that would make both workable and solid would be extracted from plants that could be grown in greenhouses on Mars. The result would be a super strong, stable, and insulating shell that would be built by a 3D printing robot. Martian conditions require a structure optimized to handle internal atmospheric pressure and thermal stresses, and AI Space Factory are thinking that an egg shape would be the ideal to meet those needs. Everything would be built up vertically, so there would be no hallways, just multiple levels. Remember that wind and gravity are significantly less of an issue on Mars, so there's no problem at all with building upwards. This is definitely the more practical idea than trying to build a humongous dome with materials that we shipped from Earth like potato chips. It's not the fancy sci-fi Martian city that we are all probably imagining, but such is life. NASA has already shown their support for AI Space Factory. They awarded the company a $500,000 prize in their 2015 competition to find the most promising Martian architecture. And we know how much Elon Musk loves tunnels, so if he has his way, then we're sure to see some level of subterranean activity on Mars. This could be really useful as a transportation network for moving people and supplies around the colony, especially if we go with the Egg City idea and not the giant dome. Transporting people and stuff underground would keep them sheltered from dust storms, and we could have a whole network of automated robot vehicles constantly moving under the surface. As for people living underground permanently, it might sound good in theory, but realistically, the idea of living underground on another planet for years on end, that's enough to make a person go insane, and it's probably not going to be sustainable from a mental health perspective. Powering a Martian colony is going to be a very tricky situation. The best idea we have so far is solar power, but that comes in with some extra challenges. The energy available from the sun on Mars is about 40% less than what it gives us on Earth, so that's a big problem to begin with. And even in the best case scenario, we would need a staggering amount of solar panels to power any reasonably sized colony on Mars. Then we throw in the extra complication of dust. If the colony is caught in a dust storm, then that energy from the sun is reduced even more. Even on days with no storms, dust will still build up on top of the panels regularly and reduce their effectiveness. So we would need to deal with that, either an automated system that would eat up even more of that precious electricity, or by having people do it manually. Clearing dust off solar panels could become the #1 occupation on Mars. We could also extract hydrogen from the frozen waters on Mars. That's a little more tricky. We're going to need electricity to power the mining operation to begin with, so it's maybe an energy solution in the long term, but it's not doing us any good in the early days of life on Mars. So getting enough energy to power our technology will be a struggle. Or will it? So much of our tech right now is moving towards a lower power consumption model. It's possible that we can just innovate our way out of this problem within the next few years. Take the new Apple M1 chip, for example. Apple has figured out how to combine the CPU, GPU, and RAM all into one little chip, and it's crazy powerful. the M1 chip can perform just as well or better than most desktop PC systems, and it takes minimal energy to operate and requires no cooling system at all. There's no fan in the current MacBook Air. The M1 is even going into the new iPad Pro this year. So if we can cram a full-size computer from 2019 into a tablet in 2021, then I'm pretty optimistic that by 2030 we can figure something out for running a Mars colony off of minimal solar power. Now, the next big question is, who gets to go? Does this mean that you and I could be living on Mars someday? Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. The first people to land on Mars are obviously going to be scientists and engineers. They'll have a lot of very complicated work cut out for them. And Elon wants to start landing uncrewed starships on Mars by as early as 2024. And they won't just be doing that for fun. The ships are going to be loaded with supplies that people will need to get started on building a Mars base. We might even have automated systems that have already gotten started on the work for them by the time that people do arrive. I think Elon is still optimistic that crewed flights could reach Mars by 2026, but more realistically, it probably happens around 2030. But nothing wrong with being hopeful. For the rest of us average folks, there should be opportunities opening up in the 2040s for mass migration to begin from Earth to Mars. Elon wants to incentivize people to move planets by offering them good jobs on Mars. Once the really smart people get things set up, then you won't need to be a genius to be useful on Mars. There should be plenty of opportunities for farmers, tradespeople, mechanics, YouTubers. Hey, the people are going to want to see some vlogs from Mars, That's going to be a huge thing when it happens. Your boy will probably be way too damn old to be relevant at that point, but I can hope. Maybe a Mars family vlog or something. There are going to be a couple of opportunities over the next few decades where Earth and Mars will come even closer together than normal. It would cut the trip down from 7 months to 5 months, and people are eyeing these windows as opportunities for a great crossing, where huge groups of people could all migrate at one time. The big one is probably going to fall in the year 2051. By that time, SpaceX should have built thousands of Starship vehicles. Maybe they've even invented something way better by that point, who knows? And there should be a legit city on Mars ready for us to live in. So 30 years from now could be the time when tens of thousands of people all pack up and leave Earth to go live on Mars. Probably forever. I imagine you don't factor in a return ticket to that kind of trip. And at the same time, there would be people born on Mars that have never seen Earth, which is a crazy thing to think about. I don't know if they could even come to Earth. A person born on Mars would be so much weaker, the Earth's gravity might crush their feeble Martian body, which is sad as hell, but it's so crazy to think about all of this stuff. So let's end the video here because we can go off on all kinds of different topics and daydream about Mars. But let us know about your theories for life on Mars in the comments below. I'm curious to see what you all come up with. Tell me how wrong I am about any of the science that was all talked about in this video. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter for more Tesla news and speculation. We send out 1 email per week, and it's a really fun and easy read to catch up on all things Elon Musk related. There's a link down below. When you do sign up, be sure to check your various inboxes and move us over to the main inbox so your valuable Tesla space info doesn't get mixed in with the spam or promotions. If you want to continue to learn about everything regarding Tesla, SpaceX, and Elon Musk, we've got 2 more video options for you on the screen to check out. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up today if you liked it, and subscribe to our channel for weekly content just like this.